Okay, let's get right into it. So honestly, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. I've got a lot of stuff going on this week and in my life right now that, have kind of made me feel overwhelmed. I've been feeling pretty overwhelmed recently. And, you know, I honestly even considered taking this week off from the podcast and just kind of getting my bearings and making sure that I'm okay. But it's kind of a interesting thing for me to think about and talk about because, as much as I wanted to take a break and maybe figure things out a little bit better, that's not who I am. I'm the kind of person that, can function on the fly. And, I was talking to someone last night even, and, a lot of times, people will ask you, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And, most of the time people will say, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm all right, when in reality they're not. And I simply told them, like, look, I'm not okay, but what good is that going to do me? What good is, like, crying about it and, saying, oh, woe is me? What good is that going to do me right now? It's not going to do me anything. As much as people want to say, well, talking about it will help. It's like, okay, it'll help, but it's not going to solve the problem. And right now I just need to solve problems, solve the issues in my life. And, right now I got a lot of stuff going on, like I said. My most important thing, my daughter's turned 6 tomorrow. It is March 3rd, 2021. My daughters are 5 right now. Tomorrow, March 4th, they will be 6. And, it's another overwhelming topic for me. Getting to see my kids grow and develop and mature, it's wild. It's really wild. But along with seeing them grow and, the years pass, things come up. Issues arise, and they have, even recently. And I have to make decisions that I honestly wasn't expecting to make at this point. And sometimes you just kind of have to. Got to bite the bullet and just do it. But, like I said, I function on the fly. I'm learning as I go, and I'm just trying to make the best situation that I can every moment of every day for myself and for my kids. As much as I wish they were with me more often, I have to play my cards right accordingly until they can be. But if you know me, and I'm sure most of my listeners and viewers of this podcast know me very well, and they know that I'm a very dedicated father. Most of the time people don't really see it because I don't really boast about it and post it often, but I love my daughters, and when it comes down to it, I talk about them every single day. They are everything to me, and some people may not recognize that, and that's fine. But deep down, everyone knows, if you know me, that I would do anything for my kids. So just trying to accommodate everyone's needs and desires is something that I'm trying to work on right now and work with. But, their birthday's tomorrow. Trying to celebrate that and, figure out what the next move is for them, especially when it comes to school, and trying to figure out that next plan. But, we're going to figure it out. I'll figure it out eventually. I just got to make sure I take care of business. And I will. There are other things going on in my life right now as well. Won't get too much into it. That I need to start putting into action. And it needs to start happening. But again, so many things are being thrown at me right now that I'm just feeling really bombarded and really overwhelmed and kind of suffocated. But I feel like I can perform pretty well under those situations and under duress. And I'm not going to say the cliche of like pressure makes diamonds, but I think I do really well under pressure. And once it's applied, I try not to burst. the pipes get tight with the pressure, but I'm not trying to burst. I'm not trying to give up. I'm not trying to let up. But things are getting tough. Things are getting really tough. But we'll make it through. One thing I wanted to talk about today was moving on. Moving on from a situation, a feeling, a person, an individual, even. Anything. As much as we want to hold on to things that we may have sentiment to or hold near and dear, it's almost detrimental to hold on to it if it's not making us any better, if it's not allowing us to flourish and it's not allowing us to grow. So when it comes to letting go, you have to kind of identify what it is you want. And if holding on to what you're trying to hold on to is worth it. If it's not worth it, then what are you doing? Why are you holding on? What's keeping you there, let's say? What's making you say that this is what I need to be doing, this is where I need to be, and this is what I want to be doing? Or if it's someone, this is who I want to be investing my time in. If the feeling isn't reciprocated or isn't felt on both ends, I feel like it's time to move on. There should be no reason to beg and plead for something or someone to stay in your life. If every sign is pointing to moving on in another direction, go in that direction. It's happening for a reason. And I think a lot of the times people don't want to let go because they're scared. They're scared of a lot of things. Uncertainty, loss of control. What else? They could be scared of being alone or having to function on the fly if they're moving on from a job even. But one thing I've learned, especially recently, is that you don't get this time back. The time that you have right now, this very exact moment, you don't get it back. So if you're not doing something that you're enjoying, you should not be anywhere near it. If you're in a job that you hate and you see no benefit from it and you see no growth in the future from it, then don't waste any more time. Focus on finding a job that will help you flourish and will make you enjoy life and you can see growth in and you can see a future in, because you start putting energy into that and you're going to see exactly how happy you'll be, because this is exactly what I should be doing. I'm happy here. I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing because I can see a future here. I'm not unhappy. I'm so happy to be in the position I'm in. And if you're not, you're wasting your life away. And, kind of going back to this topic I had from a previous episode, moving on from an individual even, it's hard. It's hard when you care about someone so deeply that you feel like your life can't go on without them. When in fact, it has been if they're not in your life anymore. You just don't want to let it go. Another thing too is if a person is pushing you away or is not making an effort to be in your life, why beg them? Why keep them there? If they're not trying to be in your life, then don't let them. Don't allow them to be a part of your joy and your happiness. And don't ever base your joy or happiness on another person's happiness, because you'll get let down. Especially if they're not doing the same for you. Ultimately, one thing that I learned from my situation was that I wasn't wanted. It wasn't anything that I could control. I just wasn't wanted, and it sucked because I wanted to be wanted. I wanted the person to seem like they couldn't live without me, but of course they were. And I was living without them, But it took time to realize, like, I don't need this person to be happy, because I'm able to make myself happy on my own, and I shouldn't even be putting my happiness in the hands of someone else. Not just this person, but anybody. And I was drowning at the time. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to respond to not being wanted. Especially from someone that, you care about, that you truly love and wanted to be with, but they didn't want the same. At the time, I was like, I was scared. I was scared to feel any other way. But I had to take a step back and realize, like, dude, you're feeling other ways now. You're already focusing your time and effort into other things and into yourself, and you're still fine. You're flourishing. You're just not allowing yourself to see that flourish. And that's one thing that I did. I took time away, and I stepped back, and I said, you're right. Like, I don't need this person to base my happiness off of. I don't need this person to tell me that they want me and they want me to be in their life and they care about me. Like, I don't need it, because I'm clearly still going about my life. I'm still enjoying every aspect of life. And I'm also allowing maybe someone else to do that. Maybe someone else to tell me they need me in their life. And before I wasn't allowing that. I was closing the door to opportunities of being wanted, of opportunities of accepting a love that I was deserving of, just because I wasn't ready to let go. And I did, finally. Now the opportunities can come. Now I can identify it. Now I can accept it from someone that's wanting me to be around, that wants to be in my life, that wants me to be in their life. And that's all part of it. It just took letting go of the feelings, letting go of the person, letting go of the situation, to where I can now say, I'm ready to accept the love that I deserve. I'm ready to accept someone into my life that wants me, whereas before I wasn't. And it hasn't been an easy road, obviously, but we're here. We're here now. And once it happens, I'm sure I'll feel great. I'm sure I'll be so thankful for the times that I spent in the other part of the dynamic. You know what I mean? I won't be as hurt and as sad as I was before, because I know someone actually wants me now. And things will be great. But again, because I've let go and I'm open to things, I can be okay with being by myself. I can be okay with functioning without somebody, because again, I've let go of a feeling, of a desire that I thought I needed someone or something, and I don't. So I can continue to still grow even without someone, but now I can accept someone. That's the thing. I have the option of it, whereas before I didn't. My heart and my mind were closed off to it because it wasn't what I wanted, quote unquote. But now I want someone to want me, and I can accept it. So that type of mentality should be taken into anything that may be holding you back. Even in work too. If you're unwanted and you feel like you're treated poorly in your job, maybe that's telling you something. Maybe it's saying that you should move on. You should let go. There's a lot of reasons to let go and a lot of good things that could come from it. It's just if you're willing to accept it or not. So I'm glad I got that off my chest. I feel like that was something that A lot of people don't really value. They don't value the relief of letting go and moving on. But there's a lot of good things that could come from it. A lot of personal growth that can come from moving on and letting go. Like I said, accepting of things that you're ready to accept and you're willing to accept and you're deserving of. Those can all come to you now once you move on. And before it couldn't. So things are hopeful now, I should say. Obviously, I'm still dealing with a lot of things in my life, but I'm not allowing them to be a detriment to my happiness and a detriment to my success, or to be able to continue to function properly and happily. I can still move on every day and still move forward every day, just like I have been, but I won't base my movements on being sad. I let go of those feelings every day. Once it's a new day, don't let the emotions of the previous day hold you back. Learn to accept them, learn to learn from them, and hopefully you can, move on from them and continue to grow. I was upset yesterday for a lot of reasons, but I didn't let those feelings carry into today. I apologized for the things that I did wrong yesterday, and I set out a game plan for the things that I should do from now on and as moving forward. So now that I have a plan of action, I can continue to act accordingly. But until then, I still have to keep going on. I still have to handle each task that I have to handle. I still have to go to work every day. Still have to take care of the people that need my assistance with everything that I do, training-wise or anything like that. And we will continue to move forward. My next priority is tomorrow, celebrating my daughters. And again, I'm going to celebrate them because it's their day. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm going to celebrate them on their day because that's what my focus should be on. Everything else can take a back seat for a minute. Once their day is done and they're happy, and I know they're happy and the day is over, then you handle the next thing. You just keep chipping away. Everything will work itself out. So, again, I didn't really know what else to talk about today. I think a lot of things have just been on my mind and I don't really know how to break them all down. It's tough. It's tough trying to handle a million things while still trying to be happy and still trying to worry about how you're gonna succeed in life. I haven't been as motivated as I should be recently. I continue to push on every day. I continue to strive forward every day because that's just the person I am. But like motivation-wise, I've been lacking a bit. I don't really have anything I'm working toward right now other than the things that I need to take care of. But again, that's like, it's not something I can work toward each day. It's something that I kind of have to just get started and then I can work towards. But it's getting started too. I just have to get there. And eventually I will. But again, I have other things that need to get taken care of first. So I'm prioritizing things and trying to get things in order, but then also worrying about things that I shouldn't be worrying about because they're not here yet. I have no control over them right now. But again, it's a character trait of mine, and I'm working on it every day. I'm working on it every single day. But we won't stop. We're going to keep working on it every day. I just hope that anybody who's been dealing with anything recently knows that we all go through things. We all have our struggles. We all have our daily grind and our trials and our tribulations that we may not talk about. But, we're here. We're still here. We're still trying to be successful. We're still trying to move along at the end of this pandemic. And, things are looking positive for the future, at least when it comes to the pandemic. Things are opening up, and, the vaccine is out. And anybody who may have gotten vaccinated already, I hope you're feeling good. And, I hope anybody who's got vaccinated yet, I hope you don't get a third leg in a couple years. That's another thing too. Like, people are forcing the vaccine ideals on others. Like, oh, you should go get vaccinated. You should go get vaccinated. You should go get vaccinated. And I've been seeing that a lot recently with kind of pushing it on people. I personally won't get it yet because I'm just trying to see how everything plays out, and I don't really need to get it yet. I'm not trying to travel right now. I'm not trying to go to festivals or a concert or anything like that anytime soon. So maybe once I do decide to do that, I will consider it, but it's not even in my afterthoughts right now of getting vaccinated. I don't care. I've avoided COVID since I had it. I've tested negative a couple times already, and just going to continue to be safe, I guess. I don't really go out much. I just go out and get my food wherever I'm getting food from and come home and eat. And if I'm out, I'm wearing a mask. Obviously, I'm not one of those anti-maskers because people are, I don't know. I just do it to keep everybody else happy. I don't really care. It is what it is. Until I'm told that I don't have to wear it anymore, I won't wear it. But if people require it, I'll wear it for their sake. Just because I'm not trying to start any issues right now. I don't need any problems, any extra problems than I already have. But it's kind of an interesting thought to think, at least in California, I don't know if we're ever going to go back to no masks. Our state is so crazy when it comes to laws like this and politics. We may never go back. I saw this thing in Texas that they're saying they're dropping the mandate for masks requirement, which is crazy. I don't even understand what's going on right now. There's so many things happening in the world right now, and I'm sure I could probably talk about this right now, and maybe I should. Maybe I'll get into some current events. The state of the world, or at least of the country. I saw that whole Texas thing online, and it's interesting. It's really interesting. Texas has been open for a while now, and I have friends that have moved to Texas just to get out of here. They're avoiding a lot of the state's issues, whether it be with taxes or overpopulation, congestion with people, and even with the rules. I know a lot of people that just really hate the amount of rules that we have in California right now. Granted, our governor he's a piece of work, man. But, if you're trying to stay safe, you're trying to keep everybody around you healthy, you just do what you got to do. If not, then move. Some people I know did. That's what I like that. I like that people are like, man, I'm not even going to stay here no more. I'm just going to go because I'm not trying to be this way. I like that. You were about that action. And I feel like that's something that people lack. That's something that people will just say oh, I don't want to do this. I'm over this. Well, that's what we got to do here, man. That's what everyone has to do, this to be able to keep us safe and to hopefully get out of this situation sooner rather than later. People are just scared, I guess. I don't know. But if you're about that action, go do what you got to do and take care of yourself if you got to. But for me, I'm fine with doing it the way I have to do it. I just hope my kids can get back in school sometime soon. They're missing out on the key years of being in a classroom. They're in kindergarten right now, and I feel like that's when they should be interacting with the teacher and interacting with kids. But it is what it is. We're living in this world today, and until they're able to get back, we're going to continue to roll with the punches, and hopefully once it does open up, we just move in stride. Transitioning from online learning to physical learning, in-person learning. I hope we don't skip a beat. For my kids' sake, at least. I really hope we don't. Another thing that I want to talk about too is like, I'm a big sports guy, at least that I like to talk about and watch. And it's funny to like think that people are getting into sports now because obviously there's not much to watch and people are getting away from shows. And now you see YouTubers fighting, you see YouTubers boxing, movie stars, celebrities are doing boxing matches, retired fighters are getting back into it, and it's just, the world is crazy. But I'm always supportive of someone who's out there who's trying to get a bag. If you're out there trying to get your money, man. I support it. But some of the antics that are happening is wild. Obviously, if you know anything about fighting or sports, this whole Jake Paul boxing situation is always on the news because this guy is pretty famous. He's a celebrity in the internet world and the age of the internet. So people know him and people hear about him, and then he's fighting other celebrities, and now he's going to fight a retired MMA fighter, and it's just, it's crazy. But again, get your bag, man. So I support anybody who's out there trying to get their money any way they can. He transitioned from YouTube and now he's on to fighting, which is cool. If that's what you want to do, man, get after it. I hope you succeed. I hope you make $1 billion, and I hope everything works out for everybody. I spend a lot of time being salty about a lot of things in life that didn't even matter. I think another thing too when it comes to sports is like, I think when I was so invested in sports, I used to get a lot of like negative energy put into me because of like my favorite team losing or whatever the case may be. Like, I just stopped caring so much. I still have certain favorite players or whatever, and I like sports in general. There's a lot. I watch almost everything. I follow everything pretty much. I'm into just the whole realm of sports and combat and everything. I really enjoy it because it's just something that I've always been involved with. So I just don't put as much energy into it anymore because I feel like rooting on something that like could eventually lead to a loss or to feeling bad or down or sad or negative, anything. It's not, there should be no need for that, because you're just allowing yourself to fall into more of a cycle of negative energy. And I can't allow that right now. So, I put my energy into things that I can control. I guess you could say sports you can't control, but you can control who you like, as like, I wouldn't say as a whole, like as a team, because again, there's people I don't like on certain teams, but I like players. My favorite thing to watch though, hands down, is anything combat, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, all that. Like I like anything that has to do with combat because it's like one-on-one. There's no team. It's one guy versus the other. And you're not reliant on how the other person next to you does. And it makes it easier to like people and not like people, because it's like, oh, I like that guy, but I don't like his teammate. No, it's none of that. It's, I like this guy, I'm going to watch him. If he's fighting another guy, like, I'm going to watch it for sure. But if he's fighting someone I don't like at all, I'm for sure going to watch, because it's like, you want your guy to win. And at least when it comes to fighting or anything like that, like, it's, I wouldn't say it's as political as it is with sports, like regular sports, like basketball, football, and all that stuff. I feel like there's a lot of politics when it comes into that type of thing. Granted, I think boxing is rigged. I think it's all rigged, and you can pretty much count on who's going to win whenever they're fighting, at least in the big names. But that's besides the point. I think I can control my energy a lot better now, and I feel a lot better physically and mentally and emotionally, which is cool because sports is an avenue for me to like get away from reality. And now that I'm able to identify that and be happier now, it feels good. It feels good to be able to just move forward every day, even if things don't go my way sometimes. I'm just like, it is what it is. You know, life will continue. We're still going to keep going. We're still going to wake up tomorrow morning and still got to go to work, still got to do, you know, your errands and your tasks, still got to take care of business. Nothing wrong with it. I function that way every day. I'm sure a lot of people do. And I'm sure other people want to talk about everything negative in their life and woe is them, and that's fine. I mean, that's what you do. Do what you got to do. I just can't do that. I'm not that type of person. But you know, sometimes I do get into that cycle of just continuous monotony, and you're done with your same old schedule. So you take a break. Can't afford to take a break sometimes, so you keep going until you just literally can't, and you just have to kind of force yourself to like separate, maybe go on a small vacation or a staycation somewhere, just a getaway. Recharge your battery. You know, come back better and stronger than you were when you were just kind of powering through and muscling through because you were just going through the motions. To an extent, that's good because you're still getting the job done, but you're also not working optimally. And I feel like I'm one to do that. I kind of wear myself out a lot, but I'm getting better. It's still a learning process, just like everything else. You know, hopefully once my situation gets a little bit better, I'll be able to take a vacation here and there. I'll be able to kind of recharge my battery a little bit more frequently so that I can continue to operate at a high level and continue to be positive and be happy for everything I need to take care of, whether it be work, this podcast, or my social media presence. I don't know, anything. We'll see. I can't talk about it now because I'm not there yet, but that's what I'm working towards. So for now, I'm going to keep going. Keep taking things one day at a time and handling things one task at a time. And once I'm able to feel better about everything and I kind of feel like I have everything taken care of and under control, I'll be good to take a day off, or time off, I should say. Till then, I'm going to keep going. That's all I know. That's all I know. Keep running every day. Keep training every day. Doing little things here and there to make myself better every day. I love it. I love that. I love doing that because it's really where you see the most growth over time. It's like progressive overload when it comes to working out. Over time, you add a little bit more, and you get better, you get stronger, your muscles grow more. Right now, I'm trying to grow this muscle as much as I can, and then once that grows, then everything else gets better. But I'm trying to take care of myself first, always. Always making myself a priority, and try not to ever forget that, because ultimately, once I'm a priority for myself, I can be a priority I can make other people my priority too. But I can't do that until I'm a priority. And I have my days where I actually put myself down and I'm still self-deprecative, but it is what it is. That's years of that, that same mindset, and I can't just shake it. But I'm trying every day. I promise you that I'm trying. And we will get there. Sooner or later, we'll get there. I'm enjoying the journey though. I really am, because I actually see the growth. I see the growth every day, and it's really cool to see it. It's really cool to be able to identify and be like, man, I'm definitely not the same person I was 6 months ago. Definitely not the same person I was a year ago. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Even like last summer, I thought I was happy last summer. I was the best shape of my life in the summer, and running and work was good and things seemed great, but ultimately I wasn't. I was still dealing with things internally that I wasn't trying to identify, and now I am. So now I'm better internally, trying to work out the exterior. It's all about balance. I got one side done, now I'm working on the other side, and once I have the other side done, I can put them together. And that's part of it. But until then, we're gonna keep working. Keep working. And eventually, it may take a while, who knows, it may take time, but eventually it'll all work out and things will be groovy. So I think that about wraps it up for this one. You know, I didn't have much to say on this one, like I said, but hopefully on the next one I can have a definitive topic to talk about. You know, I might even start talking about certain stories from my life that, you know, people want to hear about. I don't know. Again, I might put it out on Instagram or somewhere and figure out where you guys want to have your input more. If in the comment section you want to talk about it, like, let me know what you want to hear about. Again, I'm open. But for now, that's it for this one. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you again. Don't forget to check out all the other episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like it, comment down below too. Follow me on Instagram if you're listening or watching. And I just continue to support. I appreciate everybody that supports me, and it never goes unnoticed. It truly doesn't. So I'm going to continue to thank you guys so much. You guys help me stay motivated. You know, I didn't want to do this today, and I'm here. And we got it done. Short one, but we got it done. You know, it's better than just skipping this week and regretting that I didn't put one out. But we did it. We're here. You know, we made something out of nothing. And if you know me, that's what I'm good at. So that'll be it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Again, let me know what you guys want to hear about. What you guys want to talk about. If you want to make it more funny and comedic, we can do that. It doesn't have to be so serious every time. I'm a Swiss Army knife, man. I can do anything. Just let me know. Maybe I'll open it up to a Q&A or something. Who knows? Maybe that'll be it. We'll figure it out though. Like I said, every day we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. For now, I'm gonna go get ready for tomorrow. Go celebrate my kiddos, my beautiful daughters. It's their day tomorrow, so I'm not gonna worry about nothing else but them. That are my focus right now. So wish them happy birthday if you're watching this. I appreciate you guys again. Thank you so much. And I'll see you when I see you.